Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so all the supplies that I use today you can purchase from Stampin' Up! Through me at the address at the top of the screen, or it's also linked below. A few little things I wanted to say. I had some lovely people donate to help me keep going here. Cynthia C., Sharon H., and Kathleen O. I don't have your address to send you a thank you card, but I do appreciate it so much. So I just want to say that. Okay, so today I have a little Valentine treat holder. It's like kind of like a pouch, and it measures 3.5 by 4, and I guess a ½ an inch high. Depends on what you put in it, kind of. And it holds 3 of the Reese's peanut butter hearts, but it will also hold the Hershey hearts. And anything that you could fit, probably 2 Kit Kats in here. Nothing really thick though. Alrighty. So I used the Sweethearts dies for this, the Sweet Talk paper. Now this paper is a little different. I started out with this and I ruined it by accident, so I had to use this paper. So we're using my original paper that I picked for it. For this is the Sweet Talk. From the Sweethearts dies, I needed one of the little envelopes. And if you notice, I'm not sure if it's just me, but they look like one of them looks smaller. I think it's just an optical illusion, but I think this one is smaller. I've measured them and they're all similar, so I can't tell. But I do think this one's smaller, which I think is what I'm going to put on the bottom. But I cut one out of basic white, a tag out of real red. We need one of the little hearts out of real red, and the DSP, which is 7.5 by 5.5. And this is pretty easy and quick if you wanted to make a bunch for your office or your child's school. I know it's you need something quick coming down to the wire. You don't want to spend a lot of time. Okay, so I have my Simply Scored, and we're going to start on the 7.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 3.5 and at 7. Then we're going to turn it to the 5.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 and at 4.5. Okay, and that's that. All right, and I'm not going to use my bone folder for this. I'm just going to fold it with my fingers because it's just the DSP. It's not cardstock. Alrighty. So now we have a skinny rectangle on the right and a skinny rectangle on the bottom, and this strip up here is 1 inch. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this rectangle, this one, and this square. Okay? Alright, so we're going to start on the bottom left. And we're going to go over to the first score line here, cut it up to the first score line, and then cut this piece off. Okay. Alright, go over to the next score line, and we'll cut that straight. And we're going to get rid of the square and wedge up into the skinny rectangle. Alrighty, I'm going to turn it 180. And we're going to get rid of this rectangle here. So we'll go over to the first score line, go up to the first score line, and then wedge a little bit up into the skinny rectangle there. Alright, this is the flap. So we're going to go to the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight to the first score line, and then we're going to get rid of this rectangle. Alright, and that's it. That's what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it and cut it. Oops. That way. Alright, now we're going to round these 2 corners with the detailed trio punch. And we need our tear and tape. And we're going to put one on the side rectangle, skinny rectangle here, close to the score line. And then flip it over, and we're going to put one on the back of the other skinny rectangle, close to the edge. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the backing off of the front one, and then flip it over, and you're just going to flip this piece of tape down. And if you didn't cut your cardstock completely exactly at the right amount, you might go over or under a little bit. If you're under, it's okay, no big deal. And if you're over, just trim it a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to take this one off of the bottom and just flip that one up, just like that. And that's your pouch. Pretty easy, right? You could do this in cardstock too and then add some DSP on if you want to. Alright, now I'm going to get my, you could fit 4, but I think 3 is a little bit more comfortable to close it. So I'm going to put 3 in. And then close that. And it kind of stays kind of in the back. Alright, now we need our envelope and tag. Now I'm going to use my bone folder. And I'm just going to fold these score lines that are in there. And then this one. All right, and the one that I think is the smallest, I'm going to put up above the side ones. All right, and now I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And then on this. Now, if you want to slip something in it, you'd have to do it a little more surgically so that none of the glue went and touched the inside there. Okay. Alrighty. Then I'm going to glue this piece down also. Just hold it there a minute. All right, and then I'm just going to put a dot of glue right where I want the heart to go. And instead of getting my fingers all crazy, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, the other sticky side. And I'm just going to put it right down. All right, so let's let that dry a second. All righty. Now I'm going to get some dimensionals. I'm just going to put, 2 on the back of the letter. And I'm just going to center this right on the tag. Whoops. There you go. And I didn't before, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of Wink of Stella on the heart. Let's do that now. Okay. All right. And now we need some of our Double Stitched Satin Ribbon, and I'm going to bring it up and over. And I'm just going to tie a bow at the top, and that will close the back of it for you. Now you could also use a clip and just tie and put a bow on the clip if you want, if you don't want to use this much ribbon to go all the way around. But I liked how it looked. Okay. It's amazing how when I'm trying to think of a project, how long it takes me, and then on camera, it's so quick because I already did it once. All right, and then we need some baker's twine. I'm going to probably take about 12 inches or 10 inches, or if you have a scrap. And I'm just going to make a loop and put it through the hole. Open the loop and put the strings through it. And then I'm just going to tie it onto the bow. I just want to make sure that's in the middle. I just go underneath the strings of the bow. It doesn't really need to be this long, but it gets kind of hard to handle if it's so short. And then I just make this kind of small so it doesn't overtake the red one, and trim them off. And that's basically it, except for our final touch is I'm going to use some red rhinestone basic jewels on the envelope. I'm just going to put them up there. And then some wonderful gems I'm going to put, oops, I'm going to put down here. And that's it. That didn't take long at all. And you only need a couple of supplies and you're finished. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I appreciate the time you spend here. And if you need any supplies, you can shop with me. My link is below. Also, the link to my blog, which has the measurements. And just a suggestion, if you are making a box for the first time, I would do it on copy paper or a printer paper first, just to make sure that you know it before you ruin your beautiful cardstock. It's just exactly what I do. I start out with these when I'm making something, and I go through a couple usually before I come out with what I want. Okay, and that's it. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.